We're recording. All right, welcome to the NMD United Hangout on Supra Pubic. Is that what it is? Supra Pubic Catheters, SPCs, featuring me, Emily, Allie. Say hi, Allie. Hi. And if anybody else, and Jacqueline is down here. Jacqueline, where are you from?
Southern California.
Cool. Margie, where are you from?
I'm from upstate New York.
Where in upstate New York?
Right outside of Albany.
Oh, okay, cool. I was from upstate New York. I grew up near Rochester. And
from out of state.
Yeah. And then Rachel, where are you from?
I'm in Houston.
And I'm in Austin. And Ellie, where are you living?
I'm in Amarillo, Texas.
Right. Cool.
Yeah.
So we have a primarily, right now we're a majority of Texas here. Yeah, Texas pride, yo. Okay, anyway. All right, so I guess all of us that are little on this screen right now in my computer are people that do not have an SPC. And Allie, she has one of the most recent to get one. So it's very exciting. So Allie, do you want to talk a little bit about your experience, and then we'll ask you a bunch of questions?
Well, on our last hangout, I didn't have it yet, on our last SPC hangout. And I got it about 2 weeks after, on June 5th, I think. So I've had it about 2 months. And it's been a lot harder than I thought it would be to get used to. I thought it would just be like a 3-day recovery, in all honesty, but I'm still recovering. I'm a fast healer too, so it's completely, I've had to get used to bladder spasms. And it's not all negative, but these are things I didn't know about before I got into it. I have bladder spasms, so I have to wear an oxytrol patch, which it's like for overactive bladder. And I mean, overall, it's pretty nice. You can pee whenever you want versus having to hold it for 10 hours a day like I did, which it keeps you healthier that way. It's a lot more freedom. It's just a lot more discomfort than I thought it would be.
So I guess I talked to you right after you got it, like the couple days after you got it, and I was really scared after when I first started talking to you, because you were miserable the first couple of days. And then but then like a week later, you were like, I want to be an SPC like spokesperson. Like, I love it so much. So it's interesting to see the change and to hear that, there are some kind of not so good things and some good, good things about it. Take us through like the surgery, like how did that go, and do you remember much? I mean,
Yeah, it was a day surgery. I was able to go home that evening about 5 hours after I had the surgery. And I remember everything. I was sedated, but once I woke up, I remember everything that happened. It wasn't really, you were still doped up on all the pain meds and anesthesia and stuff. So the next day I woke up and the catheter wasn't draining. Like, it was like nothing was coming out. So I freaked out because the doctor basically didn't give me any instruction on how to take care of it or what it was. So I went on the forum, of course, and it turns out that there was some sediment in the tube. So that was terrifying because it wasn't draining. But you can still pee normally, so that's good too. It's just like a detour for your bladder. But it took about 2 weeks for it to stop hurting completely. Like, I was on Loratab for 2 weeks, just constant, because it hurt pretty bad.
What was hurting, Ellie?
The site, like the stoma.
Okay.
It was. I had a 12 French size put in, which is pretty tiny. So I can't imagine getting a bigger one at that point. But your bladder is like traumatized, you know. So it's very angry when you first did it. But I mean, overall, it's just been adapting, like we always do. You know, we have to adapt to everything. So it hasn't been too traumatic. But I would recommend it to anyone. It's just there are some cons that I wasn't aware of.
Well, one thing I didn't even know, and after our first hangout we talked, was that there are some people that have done it without going completely under, which I thought was news, because I don't know how that's done, but...
Well, I know they fill your bladder to capacity.
Oh,
they fill it with saline, I think. And then that's whenever they make the incision and stick the catheter in. So I did not want to be awake, but I have a trach, so I can be put on the ventilator.
Mm-hmm.
But for those that don't, it could be an option.
Interesting. So, yeah, and there was a horror story that we heard about a girl that basically was under, and the doctors really weren't paying any attention, and they broke her legs because they didn't know she had contractions. And so they were pulling on her legs and moving her legs while she was under, and they broke her legs. And that we heard about that in the first discussion that we had. And so how did you, I know you must have been scared about that a little bit. So did you say anything, or like how did you avoid anything like that?
I had to talk to like 4 anesthesiologists, because one would come in and say he was going to do it, and then another would come in and say he took his place. And then they just kept, like, passing me around, I guess, because they were scared of me. So I finally got one, and I had no pain after, as far as, like, hips and knees and back, you know, rods.
Did they tell you how they were going to position you, or, like, how they were going to do it? Or
I told them not to put my legs in stirrups, because that's how they normally do it.
Mm-hmm.
They normally put your legs up in the stirrup things to keep your bits, you know, shown.
Yeah.
And so I told them that I can't raise my legs up like that because my hips will pop out. And they just kept my legs flat and just spread them a tiny bit, you know, the max of where it would go. And that's how they didn't have to do any crazy maneuvering or anything. So I really emphasize that you can't, that you're breakable.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, so you switched, you were using a bag because your bladder was angry for a while, and then you switched to a flip flow, right?
I was on a bag for like 2 weeks because I didn't want to have to mess with anything. I didn't want to have to get my bladder, I would have had to hold it for a while, and I was miserable enough, so I just let it drain. And I switched to a flip flow, and I had to regain my bladder tone, which took about another week, because I lost it in 2 weeks. Like, I couldn't hold any urine for at least 10 minutes. I had to just keep going and gradually building up. But the flip flow has been great. I still use it. It's much better than the bag because you can hide it.
Yeah, and like, how long is it? Like, I always ask, but for some reason I've had to ask this 8,000 times, and I still can't seem to get my mind around an answer. Can you still wear jeans and everything?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
where does it like fall? Like, does it come out of your jeans like a dick, like falling out of your jeans, or does it like, does it? I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out like the positioning of it, like where you stick it, like where you like let it sit.
Well, I guess some people wrap it around their back, like above their jeans and under their shirt, so they can pull it out that way whenever they're going to the bathroom. I wear skirts, so it doesn't matter. I just put it down there. But for those with jeans, I know you can wrap it around your back.
Okay.
Where's the stoma opening?
It is 3 inches below your belly button on me.
Okay.
Some
It's right in
people
the
have-
middle.
Yeah. Some people have it positioned differently due to their scoliosis, but it's not too bad, so they were able to do it normally. But there's if anyone has really bad scoliosis, it can be positioned differently.
Gotcha. But like if you're pretty straight, it'll probably be right about 3 inches right below.
Yeah.
So I'm
And
wondering.
when I don't feel it, it's just there.
So do you think that if I were to wear jeans or something, I'm sorry, I wear jeans every single day, and if I couldn't, I would cry a lot.
No.
So do you think it would get in the way of your fly, like of the jeans and like the part of your, or would I have to wear like maternity jeans, like which?
No, you wouldn't want to wear them the first few weeks.
Yeah.
Because it's not comfortable. It's going to push against it,
Right.
After that, after your stoma heals and you don't feel like the cut, you can wear jeans. I bet you could either wrap it around your back or pull it out your fly.
Woo. Just like let it hang
Like
out like a hose, just hang out and just wave in the air.
I started at a 12, which is tiny, and every month I've moved up one size. So I'm at a 16 now, which it flows pretty regularly.
What does a 16 look like?
It's a big one, man. You need to start out small because it's not as traumatizing.
Yeah. But I mean, wouldn't you want something daintier than a big like hose? Like
Yeah, but a tiny one, it takes like 20 minutes to drain completely.
no way.
Yeah.
I don't have 20.
No one told me that.
No, yeah, no one tells you that. So the bigger the hose, the faster it flows, and you're out in like 5 minutes.
I can drain the 16 in about 1 minute versus the 12. It was a tiny, tiny stream, and it took forever to go. And it was awful. But, I mean, it was worth it because if I started out this big, I would have been traumatized.
Why?
How big are these compared to like a gauge size?
Like, let's look at my straw. What size is that?
Like a drinking straw?
Yeah, like a drinking straw.
My 16 is like a drinking straw right now.
Okay, so you start out smaller than that.
Yeah.
Okay.
A
Yeah.
drinking straw, to me, it would be about 4 gauge.
Okay.
Yeah, a 16 French. I think it's a French is what they call it.
Okay.
So, Allie,
Right.
when you're talking about the wrapping it around your back, you're talking about the tube that sticks out?
Yeah, the catheter itself is about a foot long. Not all of that goes in you, though. Just about a few inches.
Does it
Going
have to
you
be
in
that long?
Yeah, because you can't really, if you're going to use the toilet with it to urinate, you need the length to be
You need
able
the
to not
reach.
pee on yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Have you ever like put it in a water bottle and just peed in the water bottle, or like peed in a like something other than a toilet?
styrofoam cup.
Yes.
Yeah, I had an emergency and I had to go to the animal hospital, and I forgot to pee before I got there, so I found the styrofoam cup. Peed.
Well, it's like a guy. You could pretty much pee anywhere now.
Right. I really can't wait to like put it out the car window and just like pee as I drive. Like, oh. I'm gonna.
In some communities. Just wondering though. I mean, you can easily just attach a bag to that, though, right?
Yeah, you can empty it into a bag. You can empty it into a urinal, a toilet, a cup, the grass.
So in those situations, you might want to just keep a bag rolled up in your, side bag on your chair or something. You know what I mean? That way you could just kind of attach it to the tube and tape it to your leg and just move on with your life as you're draining.
That's what I do because the place that I work, they don't have a bathroom big enough, so I have to go into the air conditioning closet. So I just put a bag on and go back into my office.
Allie, I have a couple more questions. Can you feel that you still need to go to the bathroom?
If you're having bladder spasms? Oh, yeah. With a bag, no. You never feel, I don't feel it if I have a bag attached.
But with the flip-flop, you still feel like you need to urinate?
Yeah, because you're slowly building up the urine just like you would regularly.
Okay, and then you just release it when you feel like you have to go?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing as being able to urinate regularly, but it's so much easier.
Right.
I think the bladder spasms have been the first part.
Are you still able to urinate vaginally?
Yes. You are.
Okay. You still maintain full control over that.
You do. And you should. If you can, then you should do it once or twice a day.
Oh,
right.
Really?
Yeah, and that was what I was concerned about. If you stop using that, you're going to just invite all kinds of problems.
Right, and I mean, I think that there are other things you do other than pee. We don't have to talk about those things, but I imagine that it would be a good time to pee the regular way when all of those other things are going on.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Or after. After.
I'm so classy. But I think, has it saved you in your PCA hour type things? I mean, has it like relieved you as far as hours go and as having someone help you during the day?
Well, my fiance and I were actually able to go on vacation because I didn't have to lay down during the day. So it's been really, like, there's been a lot of freedom with it because he can just hook a bag up or whatever, and we don't have to, like, lay down or sit on the toilet or, I can just stay in my chair. And I can drink whatever I want.
I can't even imagine what a road trip would be like. That would be so awesome. To just get in to go on a long road trip and not have to worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
But the funny thing is, he thought, I'd actually filled up a bag, and he thought that he could empty it, or not empty it, but take it off at the stoplight. He was trying to be, like, really quick about it, and he turned around, and I was like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm going to get the bag off. I was like, oh my God, no, we have to stop. And he was like, no, I got it. And he sprayed himself with my pee. Like, that's what you get.
That brings up another question I have, though. With an SPC, do you ever notice that you have some leakage or any odor?
I don't, but I've seen some posts about other people saying that they leak, that they're leaking around the stoma, or sometimes they kind of pee themselves, but I don't know why, because I don't.
Have you peed at all? Have you peed yourself at all?
No.
No.
And how often do you have to get the tubing replaced?
Once a month. You should.
And
But,
who's doing it? one of your nurses, or?
I went to the doctor first and they did it. And then the second time, I have a friend who's a nurse and she came over and did it. And I just learned that it can be pushed in too far because I lay down the other night and it was touching my bladder wall and trying to go out my urethra. I Googled it. I was like, what is this? Huh?
Oh, sorry, what was your question? Sorry.
That it just sounds like that would be way too far in. I mean, you should kind of know how far to push the thing in by then, you know.
Well, throughout the day, whenever you move, it can push itself in without you even doing it.
Oh, really?
Wow.
I wear some Spanx.
Woo!
Yeah, and that can actually push the tubing in without you realizing it, because you don't feel it when it goes in. You have no sensation until it touches your bladder wall, and then you feel it.
I bet it doesn't feel good.
I pulled it out like a quarter of an inch before it stopped.
Did you physically pull it out, or did somebody have to pull it out for you, or?
I did it.
You did it?
Yeah.
Do you think
Does it
that?
hurt going in and out?
You don't feel it inside of you. You just feel the stoma. So it's not an internal thing. It's just your side that you feel it. So that's not as creepy as feeling it, inside of your bladder.
And is that, you still feel it at the stoma because it's fairly new?
I just had it changed and to a bigger size. So it kind of rips it every time. And it's just like stretching your ears, But it's your bladder wall.
So in time, it shouldn't hurt going in and out once you get used to it?
It doesn't hurt to change it. There's no pain. It's just afterwards that it's sore.
Oh, okay.
And what kind of, how intelligent would somebody have to be in order to change it? I love my boyfriend. I think he's very intelligent, but he's a little bit quick, and he doesn't necessarily have a lot of patience, and he doesn't listen very well. But he's totally cool. I mean, he's a wonderful person, but, could I theoretically, would that be something I could show him and he could learn to do? Or would I have to find, a friend that's a nurse to do it? Would I have to go, because I don't really have a lot of nurse friends. But I have a degree in education, so theoretically I could teach somebody. I would certified.
Feel more comfortable with, for me, I would feel more comfortable having a nurse do it at first, because it is, I don't know how far to push it in. It's kind of weird because there's not an indicator of how far it needs to go in. So you kind of have to find someone that's done it before, because you can hurt yourself if you push it in too far.
Mm-hmm. Now, flipping the valve, flipping the is that easy to do? Can you do that physically, or do you need someone to flip it?
I can't do it. My hands aren't strong enough.
What would you compare the flip to?
Like a light switch?
No, I can do that. I still have a lot of strength in my hands, but I don't have enough to flip it.
Trying to think of what the strength would. What do you think that? What would it be equivalent to?
Oh man, like opening a jar.
What? Really?
And then,
how big is the valve?
it's the valve itself is that big, and the flip is that big.
See, See, I'd be so afraid that I'd put it in my mouth and try to open it like I do when I can't open stuff.
In your pee,
Huh?
in your pee right in your mouth.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. Now, are there different kinds of valves you can buy? I mean, do they have just a certain one, or can you get a different kind?
I just found one. But I think Natalie Evans in the UK, I think she opens it. She can open hers on her own. I think.
Okay.
I don't know. But I don't know how much strength she has. But,
And then, so you do use the bag sometimes, but you mostly use the flip?
you hook up the bag to the flip flow.
Right.
You
Okay.
can hook it up to the end. So you can just flip it back when you're done and then take the bag off. But the flip flow is a lot better than a bag, I think. I guess you just have to figure out how to open it.
Now, could you get a really long hose? Like if you were trying to I don't know, if you wanted to like show off, like could you get like a 2-foot long like could you get like a really long hose?
They have extenders that hook onto the flip flow. So then you can use that to pee into the toilet. But then you can take it off too. So
So I have another question.
Okay.
And again, I don't want to offend anyone, but I just can't get over the thought that this thing hanging out of your stomach is not gonna look that attractive when you're having sex.
Yeah.
I would rather pee all day than look attractive. I don't have to do pee math. I can drink when I want, and my fiance can just get over it.
Dad, when you sleep at night, like, do you hook it up to a bag, or do you just keep it on the flip flow?
I hook it up to a bag because I can't do it by myself. So it's just, I mean, if you can hold it all night, or if you have someone to help you, or you can do it yourself, then you can still use a flip flow. But I'm lazy and I'm tired every night, so I don't care. I just hook it up.
I don't think I've ever, like, it's rare when I wake up and have to pee. I mean, I sleep through the night. I never get up to go to the bathroom or anything like that. Do you think that would change if,
with an SPC, you have to drink a big glass of water before you go to bed.
Why?
Trick. Because if you don't, you'll wake up with a severe bladder infection.
Really?
Yeah, like your pee is brown.
Really? Just because you haven't gone all night or something? Or?
Yeah. If your bladder's holding it in there, and it's already, there's a foreign device in there, so it's irritated anyway, and you'll have to either drain it or just keep it onto a bag because it'll hurt in the morning.
Really?
Yeah.
So you have to. So basically, you're gonna be peeing in the middle of the night, no matter what. Like you're just doing it. You're gonna pee.
Yeah, because with this, you have to drink more than you ever would imagine. Like you have to just continuously be drinking something, like beer.
Even beer, all the time, all day long. It's a requirement.
Have you ever had an infection yet with it?
Have I ever what?
An infection with it yet?
Yes. Right when I first got it, I had one every week. But now they're gone. I haven't had one in about a month and a half.
And so what did they put you on? Just like antibiotics and?
No, I didn't take anything.
You didn't?
I drank a lot.
Really? You just drank a lot?
They say that you can drink this extraordinary amount and then you can get rid of the infection.
Wow. I imagine that, like, I was reading the other day, and they were talking about the high incidence of sepsis, and how, like, or it was said specifically that if you get a lot of UTIs or you get a lot of pneumonias, that you're at increased risk for sepsis and death. And, like, and I was like, UTIs, and I was like, oh no. But I mean, I imagine a lot of that also has to do with antibiotics, and so it's kind of cool that you were able to knock it out without needing the. Then what was the infection like? Because when I've had UTIs in the past, I've had to pee every 5 minutes, and it's a pain in the ass because I need to find somebody to put me on the toilet to help me. But if I have an SPC and I have to pee every 5 minutes, it's taken care of, right? So it's just uncomfortable. Is that what it is?
I stayed hooked up to a bag when I had an infection, so I could just drink a ton of water or cranberry juice, and it just spit out.
Mm-hmm.
And I take cranberry tablets. I don't know if that helps. But
Okay. Well, that doesn't. I mean, it's so weird because there's so many pros and cons to whey, and it seems to me like ultimately that the pros outweigh the cons.
I don't miss the pee all the time.
Yeah.
I would recommend it on. It seemed like there were a lot of cons, but having to not wait when you have to pee is.
Right. Did anything change with your sex life at all, or like anything like that? Is everything okay down there? Like everything's fine?
You just have to make sure it's not been too far. That's the only thing.
Oh, like the SPC is not in too far, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to make sure.
Sorry, she couldn't hear you. I don't think the SPC so the tube that was in too far hitting your bladder wall, like it can't be there, right? You have to push it
You'll
out.
feel it. You'll know.
Okay. Do you roll over it at night, or I mean, does your fiance roll over it, or does it get in the way of like your positioning or sleep?
I keep it taped to my side, so it just kind of flops down.
Okay.
So you have to keep it taped to avoid it pulling out. Or yeah.
Okay, so you tape the tube, and then where's the bag go?
If I'm doing it, just put it in between my legs and then move the catheter over, and then just take it off and then move it back. So we're skirts. So.
Like when you're laying in bed at night, where do you put it?
I put the bag hanging off the bed.
Really? It doesn't pull on it at all when you're like it's long enough?
Yeah, there's a clip attached to the sheet.
Oh, okay.
So it doesn't pull it off or anything.
I'd be worried that like my dog would jump on it and it would explode or something.
That could happen.
Yeah, or cat clawing. I don't have a cat, but I imagine that like if their little paws got too close to it, it could bust it. So you'd have to be kind of careful.
Yeah. The catheter is really thick.
Yeah.
So it's not puncturable.
Okay. Now, if you squeeze the bag, does the urine go back up the tube?
No.
No. Okay.
It stays, it's suction. That's number.
Okay. Well, that's good news. So we tried. So you just keep it you just strap it to your leg or whatever, and then drape a skirt over it.
No, I don't strap it. I keep it on for like 3 minutes now. I kind of just hold it and then, take it off.
Oh, okay. Oh, I
I
see.
put
So
it in the purse and then take it with me.
how many times a day do you pee?
Ooh. Like 7 today.
7 times. So, like, let's say right now.
Amazing.
So right now, let's say you had to pee right now. If you held it, like, let's say you just didn't want to get off the phone and go and do it, and you held it, would you be okay?
Yeah, if you're not having bladder spasm,
Okay.
then you can hold it. But if you're having them, then you gotta go.
Yeah. Okay. So it's just like you can hold it like normal though? Like you could hold it for a while?
Oh yeah, I hold it for I can hold it for about 4 hours.
For how long?
4 or 5 hours.
Oh, okay. So it's not like you just have to do it. Like you can like keep your bladder in shape by holding it. Okay.
Yeah, it's the same. After you your bladder gets used to having stuff in there,
Mhm.
then you can do it like you used to. But you won't want to because
You won't want
you probably can't.
We said you won't want to
hold it
because of
as
what?
well.
Wait, I'm sorry. You said you don't want to because of what?
Because you're drinking so much,
Oh yeah.
you can't hold it as long.
So what are the benefits for drinking water for you? Like, is it mostly water or beer that you drink?
It's mostly beer. I drink a lot of water, and because I have a trait, a lot easier for me to cough things up. Because I still have to, as gross as that is, but I don't have to suction out. So my lungs are a little bit clearer.
Have you lost any weight?
No.
No. I was hoping that maybe it would kind of like you'd be like kind of because you're peeing so much you'd be kind of like flushing your system, you know. How's your skin?
I've been stress eating. I don't know.
How's your skin? Have you had any other benefits? I mean, like, are there any other like really things that you've noticed that you're like, oh wow, this must be because I'm having a lot of water?
I don't have as many headaches. I genuinely, I feel bad. It's just, it's great. I like it.
Good. That's good. Cool. Does anybody?
Yeah, I kind of it, but it's not a necessity. I think those of us who can't go all the time.
Right. Does anyone else have any questions?
Yeah, how much time did you have to take off work recovery?
I had it on Thursday and work on Monday on pain meds, but I did. Yeah. I probably shouldn't have, but it turned out okay.
If you weren't so addicted to work, and like, how many days would you recommend a person take?
A week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
because it hurt.
I know that your insurance probably covers a lot of your supplies. Do you have any idea what all of this cost?
Catheters are very cheap. You can get them for like $14.
Okay. What about the
and
bags?
You would need an irrigation system too to change it. And I think that's like $10 maybe.
Okay. And the bags?
Because when you change it, like a syringe, to fill the cath app and some cleaning supplies and stuff. But it's really.
And that's like out of pocket, or is it out of pocket, or do you use your insurance to get all your supplies?
I use my insurance for the flip flop, so I have to order them off of her website.
Oh, okay.
They're really cheap. I don't remember how much they are.
My insurance only pays 80% of the surgery and 80% of the surgeon's fees, and so like I have to pay 20% of it. So I'm a little concerned about that, as I just don't know if the surgery's $20,000, that's $4,000 out of pocket. So I'm trying to weigh the cost of it as well.
I mean, it's worth it. I think it would be worth it.
So,
I would pay for it.
Yeah?
Yeah, and you can buy over-the-counter oxycodone. It's like an oxybutynin. It relaxes your bladder, and you can change them like 4 days. Just keep it on, and your bladder down. I would recommend that when you first.
Okay. I hear like half of every word that you say, but I'm putting it all together and I'm getting it.
Is it muffled?
No, it just keeps cutting out, and it could just be my processor on my Mac is taxed because I have the recording software going. So it's okay. Can everyone else hear Ellie okay, or is it just me?
Oh, it's cutting out on my end too. Yeah, it's cutting out.
Okay. Well, are you able to get most of it?
Yeah, I understood it.
Okay. Rachel, do you have any questions?
I think that really covered it all.
Are you going to do it?
I don't know. I haven't decided yet.
Yeah. How about you, Margie and Jacqueline? Are you guys going to do it, or?
Something to think about, not right away.
What about you, Margie?
I would love something that would be more free, have more freedom. But I don't know. I'm kind of about the surgery and the bladder spasms and changing it and infections. It's just a lot of negative stuff.
I know. Do you think that the Brits have a better time? Because they all seem like really, like they seem like they don't ever have any problems with it.
Yeah, because whenever we were talking about it at first, it's like, oh, just great. It's going to be amazing.
Right.
And I mean, I don't know if I'm just pessimistic or what, but I mean, I like it still. There's still things that you have to consider.
Right. Well, and the thing is, I don't know, maybe the Brits just have better, like maybe their doctors are used to doing it. Maybe they have a different method, or it's like today they chimed in and said that they didn't get put under. So I'm like, maybe there's some kind of magic Brit thing going on, and that's why I'm interested in we're going to have another discussion. Hopefully the Brits will show up on, what is it? When are we doing it? Saturday or Sunday? I can't remember.
23rd, I think.
Yeah,
maybe.
We'll have to look it up. But yeah, and I'm interested to find out what their magic is, because
I think they have different bladders.
Right. They're different. Their shape's different. They have accents. Their bladders have accents.
They might just purge out the spasms.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's all the beer that they drink. They do drink a lot of dark beer. I don't know.
Maybe.
But no, I'm curious as to what the thing is. Like I said, I really thought that you had to be put under for it. So now that I'm finding that out, I'm like, oh well, if some people haven't done it, then maybe there's a chance I don't have to do it. Because I really don't want to go under.
It's like, put me out ASAP. I'm so nervous. But I could still breathe. It's okay.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But I did wake up without my vent. Put me on one.
Weird.
I just was breathing and I was like, ah!
That's weird. So you only use your vent at night or when you sleep, or?
Yeah, I still sleep it because I was on it all the time for years. So I'm used to being on it. So when I sleep, I'm nervous that I'll stop breathing.
Okay.
I don't know.
So. Gotcha.
But it's just another hole. It's a big hole.
Just another hole.
I like it.
I'm pretty much gonna do it. I'm pretty much there. I think I'm tough enough. I think.
If you think about peeing all this, you should do it.
Yeah.
I thought of one more question. Is it reversible?
Yes. Your blood can close in a few hours. It's like a sponge.
Okay.
Yeah, it can happen really fast.
And it heals.
Yeah, like 45 minutes, I heard. Like, boom.
Yeah, it's like an experiencing.
Have you ever had a moment where you've almost pulled it out? Like, where you've almost, like, had any issues like that, or?
It was almost pulled out when it was getting pulled.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear that. What? It almost pulled out what?
Whenever my underwear was getting pulled up, someone got a hold of it. And
So what do you do to prevent that? Just
you're careful.
Just careful.
That's about it. 'Cause you can't.
Yeah, that's not a good thing. I would not want to pull that sucker out. That would suck.
So
Does it hurt? Huh?
Yeah, because I had the surgery.
Okay.
So it was very, very tender.
Yeah.
But besides all that, I mean, it's life-changing, and I bet it looks better after I have it longer.
Yeah.